For this example, we'll use Descartes' rule of signs to determine the possible number of positive and negative real roots. So, we have our function given here. F of x is 3x to the fifth minus 2x to the fourth minus 2x squared plus x minus 1. Let's first look at the possible number of positive real zeros. So, for the possible number, I'll do a little bit of abbreviating here. The possible number of positive real zeros. We just look at our function f of x, and we really look at how many sign changes we have. So notice it starts off positive, and it changes to a negative at the second term. So that's one sign change. It's still negative, then it becomes positive, that's two sign changes, and then it becomes negative. So that's a total of 3 sign changes. After we determine the number of sign changes of f of x, we can now state the number of possible positive real zeros. The number of possible positive real zeros is going to be 3, or I can take 3 and subtract 2 from it, and I get 1. I keep subtracting 2 until I either get 1 or 0. So I don't have any other possibilities. So the number of possible positive real zeros for this function is either 3 or 1. Now we need to look at the number of possible negative real zeros. So in order to determine the possible number of negative real zeros, we have to look at f of negative x. So we need to do a little calculating here. F of negative x means we substitute negative x everywhere we see an x in our original function. And we get 3 times negative x to the fifth minus 2 times negative x to the fourth minus 2 times negative x squared plus negative x minus 1. And let's simplify that. Negative x to the fifth is going to be a negative, so I'll have negative 3x to the fifth. When I take negative x to the fourth, that becomes positive x to the fourth. So this stays negative 2, and that's positive x to the fourth. When I take negative x and I square it, that becomes positive x squared. So I have the negative 2 times positive x squared plus negative x becomes minus x minus 1. So let's look at the number of sign changes for f of negative x. It starts out negative, and notice what happens. It doesn't change to positive at all. So therefore, we can say the possible number of negative real zeros is 0 because there are no sign changes in f of negative x.